good to go now.
Okay.
I'm fired up.
So,
He's
recap
eating up.
for the previous session. The party spent roughly a day in Harlem taking care of some shopping and just, getting like a vibe on what was going on since the party has been away from the area now for almost an entire month. Specifically, you guys were gone for 25 days. When we do actually pick up the session today, it is currently, the date in game currently is October 7th, or possibly 8th. October 7th or 8th, depending on whether or not we pick up after a rest or not, in the year 1750. Okay, so that's what the current date is. But you guys were gone for the most of a month. And in that time period, some stuff that you guys found out in Harlem was that there was a lot of scuttlebutt. The rumor mill was all fired up because one of the dock customs agents had disappeared and nobody knew where he went. But according to the scuttlebutt, it didn't really seem like there was foul play involved. His last known sighting in Harlem was with the pirates over there at the boathouse that you guys had visited to. Jinsif, the customs guy, apparently was seen in the company of some Tengu people who are probably pirates. Legally they're just citizens, but they're probably pirates. And well, they left. So, and he hasn't come back. So the rumor mill is actually he's probably like eloped with like one of the pirates. Like he got himself like some like hot pirate trim, and he's just off living his life. That's the current scuttlebutt going around. Also, there is the other rumor, big thing that was going on in Harlem is that the Abadar Coin and Law, which oversees all of the like money and banks and like court system and stuff like that, they are gearing up for a big trial, and whoever is on trial, it hasn't been announced. The good money is betting that it is somebody highly placed, somebody who's got wealth, is coming up on trial for something. As to who that is, well, guesses run wild, but like again, the good money's probably on Herbert. So, while that was all happening in Harlem, after the party had taken care of some rest and some shopping and whatnot, during the last part of the evening there, Callie got woken up when Mr. Servos, gave her the warning beep boop that something was up, and turned out that her brother Rusi had basically woken up out of his coma and had managed to like pop the hatch on Mr. Servos because he had to be kept moist, so he was in the water-filled cockpit, but he had cracked open the door and had climbed out of Mr. Servos. Mr. Servos, being under orders to protect Rusi, can't like do anything about it, but he can alert Callie that hey,
Bring up.
So that's what he did, and so Callie comes into the main room of the Cat's Eye where where Mr. Service is idling at, and finds Rusi over in the corner with like a fork, like poking at his new cybernetic arm. Like he's trying to figure out what the fuck it is and how to get it off of him. Callie confronted him for a moment and managed to convince him that this wasn't all in his head, that she was in fact his like younger sister, which he hasn't seen in a very long time. As a matter of fact, he is unaware of the fact that it has been like 12 years since he last saw Callie. He was not strong enough to like keep going for very long, but he had a conversation with Callie, and then afterwards he was put back into Mr. Servo so that he could continue to rest. And then the next day, you guys went back over to the camp. So, Day and a half later, you guys make it back into the camp area, and while you're traveling on the trail, so like you've left the main road and you're traveling up the trail back to the actual camp, there was an argument that was happening at the intersection that leads from the main trail over to Doc Button's place. And the argument happened to be between Doc Button and Manal, the alchemist, quotation marks, from Whitford that you guys had met before. And Doc Button was very adamant that like Manal shouldn't stick around here. And her reasoning was because that Manal has a condition which is called Mordic or Morixism, which is a disease, a magical disease, which Manal admitted that yes, Manal does in fact have that disease, but it's being managed and it's being taken care of. So like, you know, he's not going to transmit it to anybody. The only way that he can actually transmit it to somebody is through the use of curing magics, or if he uses magics to make potions and then like you know drink that curative potion, there's a chance you might become a Mordic yourself. The disease requires Manal to eat like a couple of bites of raw flesh every single day, or else he personally will start to rot and it will kill him. Yeah, it's very gross. But Manal has been taking care of it, and specifically, he made that his house, who he just calls house, has nested itself into has already nested itself into the marsh area, and house is very good at like gathering, you know, like small animals and whatnot, which is the bit of flesh that Manal like, you know, feasts on in order to like stave off the worst parts of his condition. But it took a little bit of convincing from the party to get Doc Button to sort of like stand down, which she did. Manal went back over to the marsh area and house. Doc Button stayed with the party for a little bit. Then the party broke into two bits, and the people who were not available at last session, so June and Tim, went with Torque back to the actual like base camp itself, where they could meet with Gloria and Sirhan, who Doc also confirmed that Sirhan is back up on his feet. He's otherwise mobile and moving around. He's still working, getting back his like strength and stamina and whatnot, but he's essentially healed up.
Awesome.
So June and Tim went back to the camp and filled you know, Gloria and Sirhan in on what happened while you guys were gone. Meanwhile, Doc and the rest of the party then went over to the workshop to check out all of the work that had been done. The workshop itself has had all of the ground leveled out, cleared down. There's even a sign which the guy who's the main like family head for the Greenhill family of halflings, he was even out painting the sign when we all showed up. It seems like painting the whole like, you know, Callie's like last name on there. The workers who have been building up the place, they are still there, and they've got like a little you know, well, not little actually, quite large tent city, such as it were, where they are continuing to put on the finishing touches and everything. But otherwise, the main buildings have been built. There is a area where Callie can test out explosives and ballistics. There is a there's like a burn pit where if Callie just needs to get he's got a couple for like storages and sorts of tools and whatnot. Some of those tools had already been moved into the workshop. Finishing touches still to be made. The crucible itself has not been finished constructed, but otherwise the bases have been put down for those, and those will be up and running soon enough. So, after taking a good look at all that, Doc mentioned the fact that there was a Shuni who had recently shown up while you guys were gone, just like within the past like week or so, and he'd come to camp. He had a tent which he had set up slightly off from the rest of the tent city, and he had been nice and had been otherwise, you know, like helping out with like various work and whatnot. But it was very clear to Doc that this guy had kind of a city slicker vibe about him, and his tent was fucking fancy as all get out. That like just again screams money.
Money.
And when the party went over to meet them, they met a somewhat older. He said he was in his mid-40s. Shooty man, who appearance-wise looks kind of like a King Charles spaniel, which is just a fluffy, floppier dog with a lot of like hair. He's like cream and tan colored. But he came out and of the tent and everything, and had a sit and talk with the party for a bit. He did not say directly, but nobody needs to make a check for this. He did not say directly, but he is an agent of the Pathfinder Society.
Ah.
He is here because the Pathfinder Society was a recommendation for membership for you guys from Folker, the halfling who hired us to help him out with the stuff that he is now taking to court, like against Herbert. So he recommended you to the Pathfinders, and the Pathfinders have sent this Shuni guy, whose name is Worf, over here to, check you guys out, essentially. It also became clear that he and Jamal have at least lived, roughly speaking, in the same area at the same time. So while they may not know each other personally, they've probably been neighbors at some point in the past. But yeah, he showed up. He said hi. He had found a little coin-sized button-sized thing with a symbol on it, which he didn't recognize, and he asked if the party recognized it. Nobody did, and so he just handed that off to Callie.
Didn't Callie recognize what it was?
Yeah, Callie had a memory, and we're gonna touch on that here in just a moment. But all of that was happening essentially as the sun was. So after you guys had met the new guy and gotten just sort of a vibe check on him, the party minus Jamal headed back to the main camp. Jamal said that he would walk, Doc Button back to her place since it was getting dark, and it's like a couple of miles, and she's a halfling woman. So Jamal went that way. The rest of the party went back to the camp, and I would assume that that when you guys got back to the camp, you would let June and Tim know about Worf, the shooting guy that you guys met. So all of that said, let's start real quick. Callie, I would like you to make a crafting check, please.
A crafting check? Alrighty then.
33.
Not bad.
All right.
Hoorah.
So while the memory that you had about that particular symbol that on the pin or coin or whatever the fuck it is, the little placard that Worf gave you, while you had some memories of seeing something that looked very, very similar in Runoff in your younger days when you were picking through the garbage pile and everything, you as you come into the camp, a much fresher memory finally manages to burst its way to the front. That you haven't really seen that symbol much more recently, and I will message you directly on where you saw that, and I'll leave it up to you on whether or not you want to say anything.
Alrighty then.
I'm gonna whisper you a here in Roll20.
Oh, my bad.
Alrighty. The whisper mechanic.
Oh. 60 pounds of outfit. Bad on your back.
Yeah.
I hope that you stretched before and after.
I had to get up at 6 to make it there in time because I didn't want to go on the highway,
Oof.
and so
I mean,
I've been up
understandable.
since
Yeah.
6. I'm
Understandable.
exhausted.
We'll do some stretches, do some like waist turns and some back bends, and whatnot. It'll
Make
help.
some coffee.
Everybody stretch. Everybody posture check.
Yep.
Yeah, we gotta check us to see if it's noodly enough.
Throw it on the wall, see if it sticks.
Exactly, bro.
I've got a pasta target on my wall.
I just imagine Fussy have a plate full of pasta. He just fucking flings that bitch and starts head. The pasta shatters, but the plate sticks.
I think I've seen a video like that. It was a weird video.
Turn you back up. Why'd you go down?
Okay, so I whispered that to Callie as she has a sudden flash of memory there.
All right.
Okay, so before we though jump to the party, let's talk to the one party member who is out and about differently. So Jay, you and I discussed via DMs that you had a little conversation with Doc Button on the way, like back to her place and all this sort of stuff. Do you want to like just have Jamal walk back to the camp like in the dark after you've seen her home and everything, or what?
I would probably say he stayed because that was already getting too late. Even try to go back on by himself.
Oh yeah, by the time you got to Doc Button's place, like it is full ass dark. Everything is out. Okay, so and that's fine. Has no problem. Obviously, Doc has a room that is set up for her to do her doctoring stuff in, and it's very easy for her to just adjust the little bed in there for to give you a place to like honk you for a bit. And otherwise, Jay, we'll finish up that conversation in DMs later. But the next day, which means that we do officially to the 8th of October, the party gets up. Jamal comes back over to the camp, and everybody does their like daily preparations and all that sort of stuff. So we are all together at the actual camp with currently, as far as like NPCs are concerned, Torque is there, Gloria is there, and Sirhan is there. Gloria and Torque, after they finish their, their morning routines, Torque is sitting there around like the fire pit. There's no fire going at the moment, but she's sitting there at the fire pit while Gloria is, like sitting down cross-legged behind her, and is currently like fixing Torque's hair up into like a one big high top bun instead of the two that she's had to the side. So basically, she's just giving Torque the same sort of like hairstyle that she has. But they're just like chit-chatting and whatnot as the party is getting itself together and grabbing breakfast and all of that jazz. So since we are here now on the first official day, a couple of otherwise, allied NPCs in the area. Sirhan is in the morning. He is busying himself with a slate of basic exercises that Doc has given him in order, like, help get his strength back and to, make sure his like range of mobility and whatnot is all functional. Now that he is up and running, so that you guys know, he is a. To remind you what Sirhan looks like. Sirhan is like maybe 2 inches taller than Tim, but he is like fucking broader than everybody in the party.
Beefy.
Yeah, the man is beefy, and it's like he's got like dad bod, sort of like he's not like
Love him.
he's got a tummy on him, but he's
Can
got like a
I,
broad jaw with tusks. One of his tusks is broken, and then he has, other than his like normal orky appearance. First of all, he wears glasses. Like he's got just a fucking regular pair of like dark rim glasses, and his skin has cracks in it that look like they have been filled in with gold.
Honestly, a pretty like badass design.
But yeah, that's Sirhan, and there, and he's busying himself with that. So at the moment, the party has general privacy. So here we are at the beginning of the day. What do you guys want to do? What do you want to work on? Mr. Servos, by the way, continues with the beep boops every now and again to let Callie know that Rusi is sleeping normally. He did wake up briefly, like eat and all that sort of stuff, go to the bathroom. And, he's still freaked out by the robot arm, but like he's beginning to just deal with it.
Good man, good man.
But yeah, he's otherwise still very much out of it, but he's inside of the turbos.
It was just gonna make 5 boxes of elemental ammunition.
Yeah, I was literally about to ask, like, how Rusi was doing.
Otherwise,
I guess I have 5 of these. First thing, Tim's gonna set up his reagents. He's gonna make all 5 of his elemental ammunition, and then he's probably just gonna like clean his firearm. He's honestly probably just gonna take a minute to just clean out the cracks in his firearms and in his like general arm area.
Your like arm?
Yeah, he's just gonna like go to clean out just the joint sections, since we've been traveling for so long and we have been on the ocean.
All right.
I have a question for you, Timbo. Are you doing this openly?
Somewhat. I mean, he's just kind of like the whole party is like sitting together. So yeah, it's mostly just his upper arm areas because that's the part that got the most exposed to sea water. So he's just kind of like scraping out the inside of his like arm portions. But yeah.
You said the inside?
Okay.
Yeah, he'll like
Let
me crafting check. Arm pops off.
No, actually, don't make a crafting check. I'm going to
metal pipe sound effect.
I'm going to make a secret roll.
Oh no!
It's a secret to everyone.
Honestly, it's probably don't worry, it's not that bad. It probably just has something to do with what he said to me earlier.
Him goes haywire.
Okay, so there's 2 secret rolls I need to make. So there's 1 secret roll.
Attack roll, damage.
And now the other secret roll. Oh, second question for Tim. Is Brick currently manifest?
Yeah, probably. Since we're all kind of hanging out, Brick's just popped out with, for emotional support, because Tim loves him.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, let me make sure I turn the whisper function on the sheets. There we go. Okay. So, anyways, yeah. So, yeah, Callie sees it.
All right.
But otherwise, what's the plan? What are y'all doing today?
So probably going back to the workshop, I guess.
Yeah.
Actually, hold on. I will speak with Gloria. Actually.
Okay.
Good. Callie's gonna go up to like Gloria, and she's gonna like tap her on probably her thigh, because it's the only thing she probably reach at the moment.
Well, she's currently sitting down, so you
Oh yeah, it's probably like her lower arm or whatever.
Yeah, it's still like closer to her elbow than in.
And Callie's gonna say, do you have all those items that you've collected that you wanted me to use to make you some clothes?
Yeah, I do. Do you want them now?
Yes, it would be very helpful if you could help bring them to the workshop, so I could then use them to make you some clothes.
Oh, okay. I will gather those and bring them to the workshop. Thank you for doing this for me, Miss Callie. I really been waiting for this because it's starting to get a little cold, and while the cold doesn't bother me very much, well, you know, it also gets kind of windy and wet, and my butt is cold and wet right now, and I would rather it not be.
Feel that?
God, Gloria is so precious.
Callie gives her
my wife.
a link and like a thumbs up and says, "Oh, don't worry, I could. It's always nice to craft things for people. I always enjoy making stuff for my friends."
I like that about you, Miss Callie. Oh, did I remember to tell you yesterday that we got everything fully set up with the greenhouse too? Did I remember to do that?
I think you did mention that that you have set up the greenhouse. That's very good.
Oh yeah. And since it's just got a bunch of seedlings in it, I did talk to Kodlaka, and I got some seeds for my medicine, and I put those in a pot over in the corner. She says that if things work out with the greenhouse, I should be able to harvest some in about a month or so. And she told me how to make sure to collect the seeds so that I can continue to replant it, because it's hard to get it during the winter. But hopefully this way I will have some, and the stuff that I have now should last throughout that period. So by the time we get our first I should also have a fresh batch of medicine.
That's good. That's good. I will keep watch over the plants as well to make sure that they're growing well.
Thank you. And otherwise, Gloria lets Callie know that she will come by the warehouse in about like an hour or so, because she has to gather a bundle of things that she's been collecting this entire time for Callie to like make some clothes for her. Mostly, it's a lot of like different animal hides and whatnot that really processed fully into leather and all that jazz. She's got a few choice junk items that she would like hammer it out into some sort of like semblance of reinforced armor and whatnot. But she'll do that in about an hour. So I would assume that unless party has something else to do, you guys then head over to the workshop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So everybody heads over to the workshop.
The new workshop.
Mr. Servos is like casually rolling behind, the party as y'all are going down the trail, occasionally giving,
some updates. Yeah.
That Rusi is, still sleeping.
Windows XP update.
He just pops this like fucking power cord, and it's just like Windows has been successfully updated.
Firing Chrome.
But let's move our indicator over here to the workshop. Okay, so
Battle map.
party travels over to the workshop. The
Oh my
main,
god.
the main building itself, which is like the size of a, is pretty empty because obviously Callie hasn't really moved in to take over the space quite yet.
Don't worry,
there's
there'll be
a
time
few.
for that.
Yeah, there are a few workers in there. There's the guy who's been the foreman, and a few other workers, roughly about like half a dozen, who are
Employees,
continuing
air
construction
quote.
on. Yeah, well, they are employees until the job is close to done. They are currently in the process, though, of continuing construction on the crucible so that Callie can like actually, melt metal down and do all of that sort of stuff. And that's basically just like a big ass brick oven, essentially. They're having to put together. But it does need to be put together in such a way that the heat involved will not destroy the oven and then catch the rest of the building on fire and everything.
That would be bad.
So they're working on that. The 3 kobolds who followed along also at Callie's request and Gacthus's insistence, so that they can get a vibe check on the like community and area and all that sort of stuff. They are there, but they are otherwise busying themselves with like looking around the building and like checking out
they still got
crucible.
the fucking measuring tape out.
Yeah, they've got the measuring
How big
tape.
this?
They've got measuring tape, although most of the time measuring tape is like how many kobolds high is the like
how many
Kobolds are we
kobolds
gonna
high?
need to get to it?
They're measuring
But,
like all the doorways with how many kobolds tall it is or whatever.
But yeah, they are otherwise busying themselves with like, checking this out and like mostly talking with the other workers on like what they have done, expectations, yada yada yada. So all of that is happening in the background. Callie, otherwise, here in the workshop, has access to her, like smith tools, so she can do all of the things that require for, blacksmithing and armor craft, weapon craft, all that sort of jazz. That's all been put in here. The coin press that was liberated from the from the base. The coin press is currently sitting over in the corner because there's no molten metal for it to like press into coins yet. But it is currently sitting over in the corner.
Oh, we could, yeah, because like because I am planning on hiring the transformer guy. Forgot his name already. To ferry the materials back and forth from the mine, so we could theoretically start minting our own money at some point.
Fucking Alex is gonna come busting at our door.
I was gonna say Cali coins, but Cali currency does cut off the tongue a little bit better.
I could
Currency
imagine
spelled with a K.
I could imagine her actually busting in and being like, "Hey guys, look, they captured my likeness, and it's literally just a coin with her face on it." She might mint coins with the symbol of her cult on it.
She, on one side is just a picture of Callie's face, on the other.
Yeah. She might quite literally just start minting the coins with her cult symbol on it. So yeah.
Coin.
We're going.
It's the cult. Her cult symbol is literally like a shark fin inside of a fishbowl.
Good.
I'm gonna go talk to Fluffy Ear Man if he's still around.
Fluffier man.
Callie did fill up his ears last session. They were ungodly fluffy.
They were very fluffy and very silky. His name is Worf, to be specific.
Oh yeah.
And Worf
Is worth everybody.
Since most of the heavy labor and everything finished up, the vast majority of the work crew is basically just kind of chillaxing. And he's over with the work crew, like outside of the main buildings. He's over with the work, sitting around the fire that they've got set up, and he's having a very lively conversation as Callie approaches, and he seems to be talking to the other workers about a journey that he took several years ago up into the northern wilds of Uxland and the serene Republic of Uxland, and that he had some encounters with Draugr and other weird undead creatures up there. It's a grand fucking hoot.
Alright, so wait, he's with the he's around?
Yep, he is there. He's currently regaling the other workers with stories of you know,
I'm gonna walk up to him and I'm gonna ask him if I could touch his ears again. If I could fluff his ears again.
Yes.
Miss Callie. Good morning to you.
Good morning. I do have she's like still like fluffing his ears. I do have a question about the thing you asked me about. Well, one of the things you asked me about last
I'm all ears.
night. Alrighty.
Which just gets a chuckle out of like the other like workers who are sitting nearby.
What did you ask about the symbol on the little coin? Why do you want to know so much about it? I never got around to asking why you wanted to know so much about it.
He takes a bite of his rations because I'm eating a cracker.
He takes a bite.
I forgot to tell him the music. Actually.
Okay, so after he swallows down his bite of biscuit or whatever the hell he's eating,
It's a dog biscuit.
Yeah, that reminds me. I actually had like a RPG cookbook got from Walmart.
Oh yeah, the D&D cookbook.
Yeah, the D&D cookbook actually is filled with some very tasty stuff. But no, he's just eating like a. Depending on how southern you are, he's eating a cat's head biscuit. But he turns and looks like a little bit towards Callie. Not enough to actually take his ear away. She can stroke the hair on his ear. Like he turns to look at her just like a little bit, and he says, mainly curiosity. I came across it in a unusual capacity, and I've been wondering what it might mean. What's attached to it, that sort of thing. Little coins like that, those little medallions, they're usually some sort of like, symbology kind of thing. Like I don't want to invoke the gods, but like for clerics or my own pin. He, like turns the collar on his jacket, so that his Pathfinder Society pin, is just right there. But he says that I found it on a body while traveling the roads, not near here or anytime recently. This was years ago, and I've just sort of kept a hold of it. I know that as a Azarketi, this isn't going to make much sense to you, but like there was just something about the smell of it that told me to keep it close and in mind. But that leads to me to ask
What?
Leads me to the counter question: why are you? You didn't exactly seem all that interested last night.
Well, it seems, how do I put this? Another memory flickered to mind just as I was going to bed last night that also of another time when I saw this symbol. Recently, even too recent
that-
to be comfortable.
And that would be?
It was on the inside of our companion, who's an automaton. I saw it on the inside of his arm.
Mm.
Werf looks back in the direction of the workshop where the rest of the party is.
There's like petting break, and here's automaton and goes, huh?
Oh no, you're probably you're probably like
Oh yeah, I probably am
far
at a distance,
away.
you're right? I'm just
Yeah.
like petting brick. Just
Far
Yeah, I mean,
away.
like you're within visual range, but auditory,
see.
no.
I just,
But either way,
like,
he does
Callie,
kind of
like,
glance in that direction, and he's like,
Callie brought it up because I mentioned it. I'm mentioning it to you now because I haven't brought it up with the party yet or with our automaton friend yet, because I am not sure whether or not this symbol is of a faction that I do not want any sort of like beef with, I guess is to say that the say the least.
well, one does not want to put yourself on the bad side of a group or society or something. Although if they're, a certain sort of group, being their enemy is kind of the good thing. This one I don't know. I know very little about it. Since you've had some other interactions with it at the moment, you're ahead of me in that. But it's good to know. You may or may not want to point that out to your automaton companion. And he thinks for a moment, and he reaches into the pocket of his jacket, and he pulls out that little book that he had before. Has notes that he had written down. And he opens it up, flips a couple of pages, and again he looks back at the party's direction, looks at he's like, I believe he goes by the name, and then he says Tim's name in Utopia. He says Tim's name in Utopian, and then like although the common pronunciation is Tim, I think.
Yeah,
Is that
I
correct?
think I haven't gotten around to learning the Utopian yet. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. It just seems like binary, which it doesn't make a whole lot of sense when you're trying to make a language, but I'm not the one to judge, am I?
Well,
and then like Kelly does like a shrug of like, beats me.
Who knows?
yeah, he kind of shrugs too, and he's like, well, best I am aware of it, it's a Utopian is a language of order and understanding and whatnot. So apparently it makes sense to them, but either way, if you choose to bring up the information with Tim, I would suggest you maybe do so perhaps delicately. One of the things that sort of sticks out about when I found this particular thing in my younger, more adventurous days, coming across a dead body out in the wilds was far more common than I am legitimately comfortable with, but it wasn't something that was so bad as to warrant any especial concern. So at the time, I didn't pay it much attention, but it did not escape my attention at all that this body, human, was well dressed. Clothes were filthy and wet from being out in the elements, but well dressed, and all of the wounds were bludgeoning. Something heavy and hard, but shaped like a hand, had hit them repeatedly. And at the time, as we are speaking years ago, this was during when the Secession War was in progress, there were quite a lot of combat-ready and trained automatons in that region. So your friend does not look quite the same as those, so perhaps it's unrelated, but it might be something that is related to automatons directly. So I would couch that you approach with caution.
Yeah.
Although, I do have another question for you, Miss Kelly. Speaking of your friend Tim and your other friends, whom I have at least, been able to see the faces of most of, do you trust them? Like, with your own safety, I mean?
Well, relatively speaking, yeah, I would trust him with my safety.
How relatively talking?
Huh.
I would say pretty relative. Like, we're pretty close. I know, my dad would definitely die for me. That's there. And I definitely think the rest of the party would protect me as I have protected them, and so forth and so on.
That's good to hear, honestly. And if you do trust them that much, what would your personal assessment be of their, say, call it combat prowess?
Combat prowess? Well, I was like thinking real hard for a second about that. Well, I would say we're pretty good in a fight, but sometimes we get in a pinch here and there. But we definitely make it out all right most of the time.
Interesting. But good to hear, though, nonetheless. It's nice to have people that you know come to bat for, if the time comes. And, Miss Callie, I hate to cut our interactions short, but my biscuit is getting a bit cold, and I would like to finish that up. Not to mention, I believe I may need to the little Shoney's room sooner rather than later. However, say about midday, if you are available, I'd like to speak to you and perhaps the rest of your friends as well.
All right, I'll keep that noted. And then she walks off.
And he finishes his biscuit. All right.
Callie goes walk back to the workshop.
All right. So everybody who is at the workshop is like Callie is having the conversation with Werf. One of the kobolds comes up to the party. Specifically comes up to June. And speaks speaks in their broken but improving by the day common, and asks June specifically that if the kobold clan does come here to help out, where would they live at? Like housing wise.
Yeah, that is
where would housing for them be?
That is a good question. And Callie's not here yet, is she?
Yeah, Callie's 100 yards away.
Yeah.
Talking to the dog, man. while fluffing his ears.
Yeah, just like cat glances over, like sees that, and just like, oh, okay, that's. And then just back to the kobold, and like, does kind of. June does like attempt not to like like loom over the kobold and like kind of be very respectful, and she says that, or I guess I'll just I'm trying not. I'll see how role playing wise works out because my do have still a bit of a cough, but let's see how it goes. Well, I don't know quite exactly the living arrangements yet. I imagine that that Callie is going to work that out. If you would like to talk to her about that, I'm sure she'd give you a better answer, but rest assured that I will make sure that you are given a comfortable living condition, and if there isn't one, then perhaps we can figure out a way to make a home for you all. I mean, there's plenty of open space. Have you all made a house before? I mean, besides that little shanty town you had in the sewers, and I definitely don't want it to be anything quite to that squalor. I want you all to have a decent place to stay at.
We want house. Like other people have house.
We want house.
Can be small house, but like, Cactus wanted to make sure that we were not living in someone's closet,
Of course.
So just little house would be good for us. We can build a little house. We are good with hands, and we have many hands to make the work quick. But so far, we think that this place is good place. It has lots of open room, and it also has nice people here. Cactus speaks very well of you, Miss June, and we also know many nice things about the lady with the curly hair, Torg or something.
June just like gives him a nice smile and says, "Torque."
Torque. She is also nice lady. So, and Cactus says Callie has been good in offering us work and so we are currently of opinion that this would something good for our tribe. We will have more clutches of eggs soon, so it will grow, but if we have proper space, we can make sure that it does not become a problem.
Well, I can probably see if we can ask around that no one would mind maybe little houses for you all. Like I said, there's plenty of space here, but don't want to cause any problems with any of the neighbors, but like you said, they seem to be nice. Like Miss Torque.
Yes.
So hopefully we can work something out.
Hope so. We have talked to the workers that live in the little cloth house over there, and it gestures at like the tent cities.
Mm-hmm.
And it says we have talked to them, and they say things here are pretty good. We have also talked to some of the locals. We talked to tall, old human guy who had very round dog on leash. He seemed nice. His dog very nice. I sat on it. It didn't even care.
Just picturing a kobold riding a
Tim
capybara.
like puts
Just sitting on the capybara. Capybara is just like chilling, whatever. But yeah, it details that they met Trastram, at least briefly, and he seemed like a nice guy. They also detail that they have exchanged conversation with the Greenhill family. They also know that there are more humans that live here that grow food. So there's food, there's water, there's ample space. Everything otherwise is looking on the up and up. They just need some like details on like where it would be okay for them to set up their wearing. But yeah, they chatter with June, and as they are going through these details is when Callie is like walking back up to the party.
Yeah, June will wave Callie down.
Yeah.
Hey,
What
Callie.
seems to be yeah.
The kobolds were just wondering if you had any plans for their living arrangements.
Living arrangements?
We want a house.
Oh, yeah, we can make houses.
yeah, build a house.
I
build
mean,
a whole house.
does Callie have does the workshop have like a thing that you can like chop logs and saw them down?
Oh yeah, there is
Yeah.
they've got a log saw area that is set up. It's not like ready for like mass production yet, but it's there. They've already got like the bones.
Yeah, we got a logging area. We got saws and you can use that to cut some of the wood down and then make your own little houses. I mean, I was actually like planning on looking for some areas that you could start up. I was thinking probably nearby one of the lakes or streams so that you guys have access to fresh water.
Yeah,
That would be good.
that'd be good.
All right.
Like fresh water, much better than that like floods your box every like 12 hours.
Nobody likes
Don't
salt
wanna
water in
have
their
to
box.
sweep.
But yeah,
Don't wanna have
we can provide houses for you. I mean, we got logging areas. Yeah, there's plenty of trees around. So, and we could probably even maybe potentially learn from the locals how to make some mud houses. So maybe make some earthen houses as well if you guys prefer that. Some earthen huts.
Do above ground or below ground.
We will have to think about that one, but
Foxhole.
this is good information. We will tell Gakthis about this. We will stay here for another couple of days and just sort of, sniff around. And if we find a good spot ourselves, no. But we are currently of the opinion that this will work well for our clan, and Gakthis will be pleased.
All right, well that's good to hear.
Yeah.
All right, so the kobolds scamper off to continue to like sniff out the area. Which after you talk with them, is mostly them heading to the tent area with the other workers and whatnot, and like grabbing biscuits that are larger than their own heads, and like chomping down on those while talking to the others. One of them
head biscuits.
One of them like strikes up a conversation with Werf as he's finishing up his biscuit, and so you see the kobold squatting there with a big biscuit in its hand, a well-dressed, older Shuni man who only has to look down a little at the kobold, and he's like wiping his muzzle, free of crumbs from the biscuit that he just consumed. They have like they start having like a little light.
June just kind of like takes like a Oh, dog. What the dog doing?
My bad. Beat me to it.
June's kind of like, just like relaxed pose, just happy to see. Just you can see that June's very happy that the kobolds seem to have found like a bit of a place of their own, and just kind of turns back to Callie and just asks, "So what were you talking over there about? May I ask?"
Well, how many of the party members are around?
Pretty much everybody.
Well, Callie, like, looks at her and he said, well, yesterday, Worf, he asked me if I had seen the symbol on this medallion, and she kind of holds it up, like, a little bit to show June, if I'd seen the symbol before.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, at first I told him, like, yeah, I'd seen it a couple of times when I was, like, working for the junk hopper, and I was, you know, scrapping all these different parts. And then I remembered just before we went to bed last night that I had seen it in a different spot more recently, like, scarily recently. And she says that she kind of like leans over, her eyes start to dart over to Tim. I'd realized that the recency was because I had seen this symbol on the inside of Tim's arm.
June just
Tim
like,
is close enough to hear this, right?
You are a few feet away, so you definitely do hear like, your name being said. I'm assuming that Callie's not like blasting this out at full.
yeah, like you were like you
No.
whispered that last part, right? Or you were like,
Yeah, I whispered the last part.
Because the thing that
I
wanted to
whispered
ask
the last
is that,
part. I
like-
whispered the last part to June.
Okay, but the thing I want to ask is, how do you show June the medallion? Like, are you attempting to be stealthy about it?
Yeah, I'll try to be stealthy about it.
Okay, then I would like Callie to make a deception check.
All right.
Oh,
That's pretty
boy.
good.
not bad.
Yeah, that passes
I believe that passes everybody's perception. DC. Okay, so that means, so that means that nobody notices it except for obviously June, who is, being shown it directly. The symbol, just so that we are clear on that, let me bring it up.
Don't use that one.
Capybara don't give a fuck. Right now, like that.
Alright, do not get fucked.
So, but yeah, it.
Do you think capybaras would be like horses to them?
To the kobolds,
Yeah.
practically, yeah.
I was gonna say, it'd be
Yeah,
like
maybe-
dwarfs for
Exactly how
kobolds.
small are the kobolds?
Yeah, maybe we should ask Josh about that.
The kobolds, like their total length from like the tip of their snout to the end of their tail, they are actually about like 4.5 feet long if you're like spreading them out. But like when they are standing, their heads are roughly about like 2 to 2.5 feet. Gacthus breaks 3 feet when he's standing.
Yeah. So these guys
Head and shoulders above the rest.
Mhm.
But these guys, who are adults, they're all modeled red scaled kobolds, which means that they've got like that sort of like thorny salamander kind of like
Yeah.
body build.
Quick Google says that capybaras are like 3 to 4 feet.
Yeah, so like they definitely could ride a capybara. A capybara could like carry 2 of them if it really had to, but it could carry 1, kobold on it fairly easily.
Maybe we should
But-
mention this to Trasher, and we should have some kobold capybara riders.
All right, is all I can think of.
Exactly.
Then he just has like a
Land
capybara
of the
on.
land of the kobold capybara riders.
But think about it, if that's the case, they're not even technically horses, they would be
Yeah.
technically hippos because they can swim.
Yeah, well, it's
Yeah,
just
they
the
would
it's just
be
the wizard's
hippos.
like little like giant capybara familiar, but yeah.
Yeah, they would they would be kind of like hippos comparatively.
But back to like Callie kind of whispering this to June. Just immediately, just eyes kind of like don't go like bug-eyed, but like just that look of like concern and like just kind of.
You might see June's character sheet open. That's just me.
Oh, okay. Just kind of it's like that moment of like shock and kind of looks like half glances to Tim and back to Callie and just says, "So that's the exact same, are you sure?"
Yep. I would remember a symbol like that. I've only seen it twice before, and it was on the inside of Automaton. And in those 2 times that I'd seen, it was also on the inside of Automaton parts, just like him.
Do you think it could just be a coincidence, or?
I don't believe in coincidences because that's one too many coincidences for me to believe that it is just a coincidence. My running theory is that there's some kind of organization that potentially uses as like a sort of you know how like they'll farmers will mark pigs by branding them. I think it's some sort of organization, maybe potentially working under the Empire or some other organization that makes automatons, is branding these automatons with this symbol as like their mark. That's my working theory at the moment. I'm not sure. I don't have really any proof to the contrary, but that's just my working theory at the moment.
I just don't know if this means anything more than just a signature, or if
it would be one thing if it was just a signature, yeah. But the thing that it's kind of weird about it with me is that it's almost hidden. Like, it's one thing, you know, if you have like a company or like a logo for say, and you brand something and you make it obvious. The reason why previously I had only seen this like twice before is because it is hidden in the inside of automaton parts, almost like they're purposely trying not to be seen or not to be seen. And they don't want to be seen. Which is strange if it is what you say it is, just a brand to mark something as property.
Maybe. What should we do then?
I don't know. I'm withholding this information from our friend Tim at the moment because I am not sure how he would react if I were to show him the symbol.
Yeah, I'd say to keep that medallion close at hand just for now. Let's maybe find a better time to bring it up.
Yeah. I mean, if he doesn't know anything, it also might be hard on him to tell him this information, that there's maybe some shadow cabal that's like producing him.
Just so we need
Or
more
whatever.
Tims running around.
Yeah, can I like Tim?
Yeah, I'm sorry,
obviously
I didn't,
Tim's not like, you know, getting suspicion off them, but like she went from talking to that guy where he couldn't hear and then walked over to June, and then June like I'm sure Tim caught some kind of glance. So he's like,
Well,
Yeah, should I do a perception?
and they are very clearly like murmuring quietly, like separate
yeah,
from
it's like,
everybody
what the
else.
Yeah, I'd be more than happy to do a
I
like
need,
a stealth.
I need June to do a deception roll.
Mhm.
The rogue do a deception roll? No way.
All right.
Oh.
So
Okay.
19.
All right then.
A bit
Okay.
below average,
So,
but
I'm surprised I rolled as high as I did.
mhm.
I got a 19 because my deception roll is like a fucking 8.
Oh yeah, can Brick speak to me? I feel like Brick is able to like talk to me.
yes, Rick totally can communicate with you. Brick does not speak, like language-wise, but you do have a natural empathic communication with Brick.
Gotcha.
And obviously, of course, you can also get a live feed through Brick's senses if you choose to do so.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's really good. From up to 100 feet.
RCXD inbound.
Reminds me of
Minus
like the,
6 bullets.
the little RC car from the Call of Duty.
Yeah.
So, Tim, as they're like, murmuring over there, and you're petting, you're petting Brick. You clearly have heard your name amongst the murmurs, but other than that, that's it. So whatever the rogue and the engineer discussing over, it may at least tangentially have something to do.
Connect to me.
Mhm.
Well, with
Maybe.
both of their feelings on me, I can only assume.
That it means
Calling
we
me
want to
dumb.
work with your.
Yeah, you can only assume that you are doomed.
But
Yeah,
I don't
but-
think Tim would have no reason to assume that they know anything about the thing. So I don't think Tim's just gonna hear his name be said and then just go, eh. And then
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
in the workshop, correct?
Yes, you are currently at the workshop.
Are there any Are there any like
Which I will be doing an actual map of soon.
say are there any like
Sick,
hollow pipes, like hollow metal pipes?
Are you
Well, there
seriously
are-
gonna like?
There is
Try to
a,
subtly
there
listen
is
in.
a sprinkler system.
He's gonna grab a cup and he's gonna attach a string to it.
There's a sprinkler system set up, and there are additional pipes that weren't needed for the sprinkler system. They are nearby. You could very easily just grab one if you wanted to.
Please
Is
don't
there one
destroy
that's
my
about
workshop.
is there one that's about like 3 feet long? Probably.
3 feet long, give or take, sure.
Tim's gonna walk over, pick up the pipe, and go, "Hey, Callie, can I have this?"
Why?
There's a project I'm gonna work on. I'm gonna see if I can't work on some stuff for my firearms.
Work on a I mean, you might want to ask the workers first if that's an essential part. We don't want.
That's true. Tim's gonna. Are there any workers around?
Yeah, there is a crew that's the other half of the building.
I can't believe this man
Because
just
you're-
asked, are there workers around when there's literally like a
Well, obviously there's workers around, but is there
Yeah,
some
like-
within like literally
like-
turn around talking distance?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could turn around, raise your voice, and talk to.
Y'all
the
need
other
this
guys
pipe.
that are accusable.
I'm
Foreman,
about to hit the pipe.
the foreman looks over back at Tim, looks at the pipe, and you see him squint for a second. He's like, "That's one of the bonus spares. You need it for something?
Plan on making a project.
All right then. So long as the boss says it's okay, and he looks at Callie.
Well, I mean, if it's a spare and you don't need it, yeah, you can have that pipe.
Perfect.
Just
Tim,
don't burn my
puts it in
workshop
his-
down. I will end you.
I won't. Tim puts it in his spacious pouch and then just goes back to Brick, and he starts fiddling with the little gear on his chest.
Beat bark. Beat bark.
Jin just shrugs. And
Okay.
well, looks like this place is coming along pretty nicely though. It's
I
almost
mean,
becoming
it's pretty nice. I mean, we don't got a sprinkler system at the moment, but it's still pretty nice.
Yeah, they just haven't filled in all of the tanks and all that sort of stuff. But it is there. They've put in the piping.
It's almost funny. This place is starting to become its own little town.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's my plan. Kelly rubs her hands together, like, very evilly.
Just worrying glance, the rub hand motion, but
Yeah.
it's crazy to think that not too long ago we strolled in here and took care of that work problem.
Care of that orc problem, yeah. Seems very long ago when that happened, yes.
Like almost 3 months ago or something.
Well, I mean, like, actually, how long ago in game time was
Probably like almost a few months,
Yeah.
actually, as well.
Mm-hmm. Like,
How
it's
long ago was what specifically?
when we fought the orcs in, like, the ones that were, like, gonna, like, commit.
Yeah, the ones in the forest, the fortress. Sorry.
Okay, when you guys took on the orcs up at Fort Foulmouth,
Mhm.
that would have been before the start of September, and it's now like you're now more than a week deep.
So about a month and a half, 2 months maybe.
Roughly about a month and a half, yeah.
Yeah. Just June just kind of muses and just says, "Well, I suppose it beats the alternative of those, whatever those orcs were doing, and I doubt it had any good intentions for the people living here."
No, it did not seem to be a good intention. No. That and that fake orc pretending to be an orc.
Yeah, that was weird,
Fake
right?
orc, but not really orc.
Wonder what was.
Yeah,
wonder what
they're
his deal
not
was.
very orc leader.
Seamus gets a chill down his spine.
Oh yeah, you
Well,
died,
stop.
didn't you?
Yeah, that was another instance where the Conrasu came painfully close to death.
Again. Yeah, you always seem to be dying.
Well,
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Specifically when the otherworldly things, Seamus go down like a bitch. Although he goes down swinging, I gotta say that.
Well,
I am
to
right here.
to be
Well,
fair,
I
Seamus
mean,
did
to be
take like
fair-
point
lowest
to be
hell out of all of
distraction.
us.
To be also fair, it was his own fireball. Let's be honest, the only person who can kill himself is himself. Alright.
That is true. He is a wizard that has decided to take frontline access, and I love it.
Yeah.
I am not a bitch.
I didn't
don't throw
ask how big
spells,
the
I go
room
down like a
was.
real
I said
man.
I cast fireball.
I don't care how big the room
I'm
is,
going to
I have
suplex
fireball.
you and then fireball you point blank.
You're gonna hit
Oh, wait,
yourself
then you
too, but I'm gonna hit you first.
Exactly, bro.
I'm like, then you have somebody like Jamal, who is clearly supposed to be a front line, but he's more of a background still.
It's like
Quinn started
a carb-
backline and then went to frontline. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm Vanguard. I'm supposed
Yeah.
to be a spirit. And then got stabbed
Mhm.
by a fish man.
June just like thinks about that moment and
I don't like the fact that I'm hearing dice.
just says, "Well,
Him activates. He turned. I'm just kidding.
June just
He's
says,
got
well,
sleeper agent.
try
He
to
just
keep-
sleeper agent activation. He starts shooting everyone.
Right. June.
June just says, well, hopefully we get that sprinkler thing of yours up soon. I'd hate to see this place burn down to the ground."
I would hate that too.
Tim has his-
Foreman did say it would take about a week, so we got a few more days. But in the meantime, I hope to use some of the facilities that aren't involving fire in order to do some other things.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just June just like nods and says, like, pleasantries, and like walks off. lets Kelly do her thing, I guess. She actually looks around and sees what's Larry up to.
Mushrooming over in the corner.
She's
What
very
shroom?
eating
What
to
what
a
what
planet
is
flying
the
out.
shroom doing?
What is the shroom doing?
It's probably just. I'd say Larry's just fell outside.
Hmm.
All right.
Jin will just kind of like scan to see where Larry is, and just like goes up to her and asks how she's doing.
I'm doing all right. I mean, it's nice to relax after everything that's happened.
I imagine you prefer being out here in the outdoors versus a boat.
Yeah, I prefer being out in nature.
I mean, she'd probably prefer it where we were. There was clouds most of the time. There's no goddamn sun. Because so a magical
also
mystical
moist
being
there.
decided. Magical mystical being decided that it was just gonna be cloudy the entire time we were there.
Give us rain.
Which, just to be clear, the
Huh?
weather today, clear.
Good.
Nice.
A little breezy.
Tim makes his finger. There is wind.
Yep. His detect weather. I think it's gonna
Larry
be
was
windy
just saying,
today.
well, how are you?
I'm all right. I've just been thinking about how we are changing this place for the better. I never really expected myself to be the kind
Jay,
of...
why did you post a picture of a bear eating mushrooms?
What?
You seriously just say
Wow.
that just to ruin that conversation? Did you see?
Wow.
I am very confused
That-
what
that
you're
is-
trying to
Is,
say
is
about
that
this.
what the dog is doing?
Cocaine, Cocaine Bear 2.
Cocaine Bear 3.
Room bear.
Shroom Bear.
The dog is taking shrooms and tripping out.
Uh,
I was like, for disclaimer, I'm like, for Twitch, Jamal do not take drugs. I don't even think he eats shrooms. I don't even think that was a thing.
Yeah, I'm just confused though. Why did you post this bear eating mushrooms? I was like, what is this? What are you trying to say with this? No, go continue. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
You're
I just
good.
thought it was really funny.
Ju-
That was-
June just says that how they've sort of been changing the surroundings for the better, and that I never really expected myself to be the hero type, but it does feel good to see things around here are a lot better. I don't know. What do you take away from this?
I think you're doing a good job as being a hero type. I think better than all of us, really.
Hero type. How
Oh,
are you thinking
come on now.
fits that description?
You've
Probably just
you've definitely been a help, especially keeping us from going down. I mean, that weird floating creature thing tried to kill Seamus, and you helped him come back from the brink.
third
Yeah, I tried my best to help you all, and I did. Hopefully, tried to talk some sense into Seamus. I'm more concerned about him. I just wanted to protect himself more.
Yeah,
But I know
talking
he's
sense
gone through a
into
lot.
Seamus seems like a losing battle, but
feel like you'd
You
have
just
more
hear
defense.
a sneeze in the distance.
Still remember when we still remember going down to the lake to go fish, and the things I saw will haunt me.
I'm not sure if I should ask what you saw.
Let's just say that.
I don't think Larry was there when that happened.
No, you weren't. Let's. June just kind of shivers and says, "Let's just say that Seamus has his own fishing rod on hand." And
Larry's just like, oh.
I don't like where this is going.
I did not want that mental image in my head.
sorry. Let's forget I said anything then. I mean, it's not like it's not wrong. It's not a wrong description.
You hear another sneeze in the distance.
Like just like a rod. Like I don't know what Seamus doing? Like he like lifted his cloak or like
it's literally just like a branch that he extruded from his cloak. That's all it was, with twine and stuff.
Man
yeah,
was
just
"Fuck it, I'm gonna become the fishing
out
rod."
of like full fishing rod out from like his little tiny cloak and just. But yeah.
There's more. Okay.
It's like what were those like magic trick things like where they have like that little bag and like they obviously like there's a hole on the bottom of the bag and like the table and that's like where they pull out like the Mary Poppins that shit and that's essentially what like it was like to see. But June's not really like a magic user, so she's just like what else does he have shoved up in there?
I want to know what else he has in that club.
It's not a fishing rod, that's for certain.
God.
But
Still bound with twine.
but I guess
Still bound with twine.
Callie just be like, what the? It's like, so Dad, what do you hide under that cloak? You know when you're older.
and I guess I just
Magic.
June just says forget what I said about Seamus. Just I was just wondering how you were
You'll never forget.
doing. It's
I appreciate you checking in on me.
Laria, make a vibe check.
vibe check.
Vibe check.
And by vibe check, I mean wisdom save.
A wisdom save?
Yeah, a will saving. Please make a will saving.
Who the hell is disturbing our peace? I'm gonna make sure they're like that if that's the case.
Is that good?
Yeah, that's pretty good. So like after June, says like forget it, and like starts turning away and whatnot. Up above you in the clear sky, you see like one of the little wispy clouds that are just cruising by on the breeze and whatnot. You see one of them split in half.
I don't like where this is
Like-
going.
Just really
Hey.
fast? Or-
Well, not like really fast. Not like really fast. So imagine you've got like a
Are we talking like a dragon-sized cloud here?
No, this is a big cloud. And this cloud is way up in the sky. And you see the cloud start to split into, like it has run into something, and is being, cut in half as the wind is pushing it along.
Meaning something is above us.
But you
I
don't-
guess,
but you
yeah,
don't
I guess
see
Larry
anything
would assume
in
that
that
something
same
just
space.
flew through that.
I mean, maybe.
Me?
Something could have flown through there, but whatever it was, if it was something It was real fucking big.
Really big, and I guess
heard
really
that.
fast.
But yeah, you
Like
see
a
one of
dragon,
the clouds just like
like a
split.
dragon.
and it like all of this like happens like over the course of like a minute. But you see the cloud like split into two separate clouds, which continue on in the same direction that the wind's blowing everything. But it does quite clearly just slice in half, like it ran into something solid, and then that was enough to like break it apart into two separate clouds. But it takes roughly a minute for that to otherwise to happen.
So what is that? How does that fit into the vibe check? Is that a good vibe or a bad vibe?
that is a not good vibe.
Damn.
Is what I'm going to give you. So Laria, you notice this. You can whatever did it or is doing it, whether that's active or passive, unknown. It is very far away, but being a oracle of the cosmos, you see that happen. You're looking at the sky a lot, like all the time. So this is not something that you see like frequently. Clouds don't generally do that, unless like this, flowing mass of fog that's up there hits something and then has to divert around it, which is exactly what you just saw, except that there's nothing there for it to impact on, and it would have to be quite large to do what just happened.
Yes, Larry would just say like, "Did you see that?" Did you?
June like turns around and says, "Huh?"
He just says like something like in the sky. I guess just made the clouds just split in two. But it happened like pretty fast. So I don't know if you noticed it.
Perception check, GM.
Yeah, go ahead, make a perception check.
25.
There better not be a giant flying machine above my goddamn workshop. I swear to God.
Do I see the cloud in question?
You see two clouds, and you're no expert on clouds or things like that. So, but June does notice that these two clouds, which are always like right next to each other, do have a suspicious for clouds sort of straight cut. On,
like where they taper
each side. Yeah, where they taper. So there is suspiciously kind of a straight path in there, but like even over the course of you looking at it and watching it go, wind is breaking it up enough that it's beginning to just become two clouds. But yeah, there's enough there with Laria pointing it out to you to be like, those clouds have edges that don't appear exactly now.
What do you think could have? And that just happened right now? Like ask Laria, like...
Yeah, that just happened now.
Basically during the course of the conversation of you talking to Laria's when that happened.
Yeah, like I was about to turn around. Or about to walk off and looked up, saw it.
Yeah, she would just say I can tell you that's like nothing natural that anything would happen. Not even wind can do that.
What? Maybe there... Could there be a sky ship that we just can't see?
Yeah, that's my guess. Maybe something just flew through it. Which
would be terrible.
Weird because it had to be really big to do that.
Yeah,
wouldn't that just be terrible? If, like,
wouldn't it be awful? Could Tim do some kind of? Did Tim see it?
No, Tim did not see it.
Yeah, June and Laria are kind of outside of the workshop at this point, right?
Yeah, Laria was out, in the dirt catching some sun and like just having a snack, and June walks out to talk to her, and because of Laria having to look up at June, that's why Laria catches sight of the cloud happening. But yeah, when as all of this is happening and going on, and it does bring up the idea of like imagine how terrible, honestly, it would be heavily armed Zeppelin gunship that is was under
Above
development.
my workshop after we
in
finally
Whitford.
got to
Also
build
has
it.
some sort of fucking cloaking mechanism. like the Empire has not only beat everyone else up into the air, but also beat them with stealth technology too.
God damn.
I have 16
I don't
knowledge.
think I don't think Lyria would have any knowledge of that.
Mhm.
I personally think it's the dragon. I think it's the dragon because, like, if you remember, the dragon was stealth.
Mm-hmm.
So it might be
That
him.
is
Yeah.
also a possibility. Just in character, I'm like
Me too.
like that would be like the first thing that June would go to would be like like a sky ship. But
Yeah, because you have direct physical interaction with a skyship.
I think.
Yeah,
I
we
would
crashed
immediately
one.
Go to the dragon after
Well,
her
yeah.
interaction.
well,
with
technically
that damn
they
thing.
crashed it. I was up on top of the like quote unquote
Yeah,
pier.
Jude just watched it all happen.
Skyship is yeah, that's plausible.
Hmm. Should we tell? Should we
Um,
tell somebody? Should we tell the rest of the group?
Maybe just to keep a lookout. And hopefully it's nothing serious.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
All right. So that weirdness, for the moment, put aside. Roughly 10 or so minutes later, the workers who have been working on, they tell Callie that the main body of the crucible is complete. It needs to be fired and run up to temps to make sure that everything is working as it needs to be. But before that can happen, they have to test the sprinkler system first. So they're going to go over to the river and start. They're going to throw the valve on the water wheel and start filling up the tanks. By the foreman's estimation, filling up the tanks will take probably until about noon before they can actually fire up the crucible and see if it can sustain the temperatures that it needs to.
All right.
So, with that timetable in mind, I guess one thing that we do need to do before we get lost, like weeds, and believe me, there are more weeds coming. Before we get lost into that, we do need to actually talk about like what Callie is going to be crafting here at the workshop.
Yeah.
So before we move any further on story plot stuff,
Yes. Yes.
Syrup, have you decided what you would like Callie to work towards?
I want Callie to work on something that like to improve her own stuff, like you said, because Callie's kind of weak. But at the same time, I also want to work on stuff for the party. But because like I think crafting those runes would be very beneficial to the entire party. But at the same time, I also like want to craft some stuff for Callie because she's like really well on the defense side of things. Like fucking, she needs some better armor and some better like shield and stuff and whatnot.
Okay. Well, Callie has access via her formula book to all of the like regular armor recipes and all of that sort of stuff. So we don't have to worry about her getting hold of the recipe. Just really, what you want to put, the money towards to build up. So, is obviously Callie wants to like upgrade some of her own stuff. Is there anything that the rest of you can think of that you would like to place orders, with Callie?
Other than Tim's polytool, and I guess you could probably take the +1 off of the robe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I definitely would like to put that
would be part of
plus.
it.
Yeah, I definitely would like to put a +1 onto Callie's weave.
Yeah.
And that's very easy and cheap.
Yeah.
I think for Seamus originally just wanted to beef up his scythe a bit more.
Mm.
And that striking rune would really be.
We'll definitely do that. Yeah, we'll definitely do that.
Oh, excuse me. Yes, the poly tool and then the +1 striking rune on his gun.
All right. Well, then I guess I could try to do the batching of striking runes if everyone's okay with like pulling their own money towards it, because everyone would get at least one.
Bam. You have
Yeah,
all of
you
Tim's
already know
money.
it. And you have all my 16 gold pieces.
So we know that because we talked about this before.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit before the session.
Okay, so the party has liquid funds that they can throw, assuming that like everybody,
Yeah, it's okay with
holds their
yeah.
shit. That you guys have access to 283 gold. So long as that 283 gold will cover first half of the stuff that Callie is crafting, then Callie can get started on all of those items. Then after that, it's just a question of how long Callie wants to extend that crafting period, so that she can reduce the amount. And again, just to be clear on that, the way that works is each day is 1 gold piece less on the remaining half in order to finish up that particular item. Callie can do that automatically, does not require for her to do because of the assurance feat. However, if Callie wants to go for the gamble, she could try for a crit, which would then double the amount of reduction to 2 gold pieces per day. But that's only if Callie wants to try for that. The real benefit of the workshop is that once Callie makes the initial beginning of the process of making these items, Callie can essentially hand off the reins of finishing up the crafting process to any employees that she has at the workshop, which obviously right now she doesn't really have any employees at the workshop. But Callie can at least get started on projects and then bring in employees to start that whole process chugging along. We just need to figure out what is the first batch of things that Callie.
Yeah. Yeah, then I would say that since everyone's agreed, we'll do some striking runes then. Yeah.
Okay.
Batch of. I definitely would like to make an expanded, like a sized up harmonica gun mag for Mr. Servos. Considering, since we talked that I'd have the new strategy I'm going to be doing with him is going to be that he goes in without Callie, so it'd be kind of nice to have him be able to fire the cannon multiple times without having to reload. But I don't know how much a sized up harmonica gun mag would be.
Let me find out. Let's see here. We want to do. Okay. How much do these things go for? It would be 16 gold.
16 gold? Yeah, we could probably just add that to the to the mixture of things. Yeah, then. Okay,
then, Syrup, if you would please write down all of the different projects that Callie is going to get started and what their cost is. And then we will determine, what gets priority and that sort of thing.
Yeah. Breaking runes.
While Syrup takes care of that, because this happens over the course of the next couple of hours as the party is going back what to make, and Callie's making sure that she's got materials and tools and all that sort of jazz, and basically starting to personalize the workshop to herself. While all that is going, and it is currently just the party in the workshop, a little bit before noon, there's a knock at the big open barn doors, and there at the barn doors, you guys see the Shoonie Man, Worf, who has his like pipe in his mouth and is currently like, gently like puffing on that, and he puts he's got his hands in his pockets as he just strolls up, and he's like, "Now a good time."
I do have a question.
Yes.
Did I at any point in recent time speak with Dan about the order I put in, like fucking like 3 sessions ago or something?
No. Although he would have had time to have acquired it and brought it back. So Callie has unopened.
I forgot. It's been so long. I forgot what was it I ordered for him. It's been so long. I forgot what I ordered from him.
You ordered a couple of recipes, which he purchased for you and brought back.
Okay.
I do have those written down. I just don't know.
All right.
Like I actually physically, literally.
It's fine.
It's over here. It's over here. I will find it somewhere, and I'll get it to you.
I just want to get that out of the way so I
recipe.
don't forget, because I do
Yeah.
remember about that. I was like, wait a minute, I just remembered that, because I was like, probably best to get that out of the way so I don't forget again.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was going to ask
Good
about
to-
that earlier.
Good to remember. Okay, so yeah. So Callie is otherwise like getting all this, set up and prepared. But Worf shows up and it's like, hey.
You wanted it was a multi-tool, it was a, what was it?
Polytool.
Polytool, okay.
It is just a combat Swiss Army knife.
Yeah.
Polytool, alright.
But it's a pretty badass one.
Yeah. It's got flint and steel in it and stuff, so it's just generally a good thing to
and like
have.
a magnifying glass.
Yeah. The magnifying glass is one of the big reasons. That's the other reason I bought the pipe, because I'm gonna see if I can't figure something out.
Alrighty
I'm gonna
then.
make my own.
How much was the how much did you say the polytool was again?
It was 10 gold.
10 gold? Alright, 10 gold. Jeez, just put that down. I am writing all of this down, writing it down.
Sticky note, sticky note, sticky note, sticky note. Just sticking them all over the computer.
Another one I remembered was like, oh yeah, I gotta turn the magnetic construction set into a fucking portal door for the workshop, so I can go back to the workshop whenever I want to, wherever I am.
Yep.
We'll put that down. I'm pretty sure that's like 200 gold pieces. We'll fucking save that one for later.
Yeah, that one's gonna be a down the line kind of thing. Okay, so otherwise, Worf comes by the workshop, and he says hello to everyone, and hasn't specifically spoken yet to June and Tim. So
Yeah, I remember he said he was gonna do that.
So he comes, up and introduces himself as Worf. You guys can both clearly see that he has, a pin that puts him as a member of the Pathfinder Society.
Does would the clothes for Gloria and the stuff that I need to do for Minnow cost anything as well?
The specialty tools for Manal definitely do have a cost. Gloria's clothing will just no.
Okay.
As far as those are concerned, Gloria's clothing can be a side project. It doesn't really cost anything.
All right.
Okay, so but Worf comes over and makes introductions. He lets June and Tim know that his name is Worf. He is from. Let me give you the actual he is from. Actually, do we have it? It's not really going to be on the. Switch us over to. Nope. All right, so here on the world map,
Yes, that is the map of the world.
Okay,
The world
so
map.
okay, so the town that he city called Mondin, and it is located on this this island right here in the middle. It's actually down here on the like south coast of the island, and it would have been for those of you who came from the of the Empire. Mondin is one of the main like ports that ships put in before they like make the journey up to the torrential sea. So you would have at least seen it, in the distance. Mondin is a big town. It is bigger than Harham, although not like by a shitload, but it is bigger than Harham.
Right.
And he's from that area. Also, specifically, he says that he's a field agent for the Pathfinders Society, and he tells you, like he told the rest of the party, that a good word was put in on you guys by a certain individual in Harlem, and that basically he's come out here to just sort of like get a feel on the party as a whole and all of you as individuals, that sort of thing. And he's already said his Callie and Jamal and Laria not actually Laria. He hasn't met Laria, and to Seamus and everything. So he's already said his hello there. He's over to say hi to you guys. And when Callie had come over to speak with him a couple hours ago, she said it would be okay for him to come by, say his hellos to the rest of y'all. And he did want to talk to you about some adventure business, if you guys are open to talking shop.
I'm down. Any way to make more money.
Well,
Legit.
there is definitely money in this. There is definitely money. So
What you say?
he gathers, everybody together in the parties can hear this. He does also take the time that when Laria comes over, he does introduce himself to Laria, and just checks in with her and like, hey, how you doing, and all that sort of stuff. But he tells you guys that one of the ways that the Pathfinder Society likes to sort of vet, basically, people that they are making the choice whether or not they want to offer membership, is they usually have like small sort of like quest or something to give you to do. It's usually not too incredibly dangerous, although danger probably is involved. But there's definitely a reward to it because, well, nobody does this adventuring stuff for and it's something relatively simple, but it is also kind of important. The Pathfinder Society, Worf tells you guys, that they are not a police force. Let's go ahead and be clear about that. They are not a police force.
Oh, thank God.
They are.
Callie lets out of breath. Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Him
they
also
are-
like
they are
relaxes
not a-
his
They are not a police force.
stance of it.
Additionally, even though the Pathfinder Society originated in the Empire, they're not an imperial organization anymore. They are an international. So, like they follow the laws of the Empire. When they're in the Empire, they follow the law, whatever other country they're in, when they're in that other country. But they try not to align themselves incredibly tightly to the government of any of these countries because they want to maintain a sort of, neutrality sort of like thing.
I'm sorry
But-
if you hear this. I'm pouring myself some Cheez-Its out of the box.
Now
Excellent.
go for it. Eat them Cheez-Its. Worf lets you know that some of the main benefits of being a member of the Pathfinder Society is that neutrality, um, quite a lot of money that the
Money.
money, quite a lot of money
Heard the word.
that the organization has at its fingertips can be used for like whenever a member in good standing needs like say legal assistance or housing assistance. They also tend to have a very good working relationship with best sort of like craftspeople, and he like lingers specifically like on Callie of like like we'll give you orders, and pay for them, we'll bring you orders from troops around the world.
You know what? I might put you down as a yes instead of a maybe.
But those are just kind of like the basics of the benefits of being a member. And he doesn't want to pressure you into like joining or anything. It is completely voluntary. But he's talked to the workers here. He has talked to individual homesteaders that live in the area. All of them have had extremely good things to say about all of you. The worst he had heard from anybody is that some of you are maybe a bit bristly, but like, like that's fucking nothing. Who isn't bristly on occasion, especially when you're like a.
That's what I'm saying. If bristly is the worst, I bet.
But since he's heard good, and you guys are otherwise skilled adventurers, he knows that you're clearly in the middle of something right now with the workshop and everything. But what he would like to do is he would like to offer you one of quests that the Pathfinder Society is aware of, like a thing that's going on, and it is in the Pathfinder's best interest, as well as the best interest locals of the area, to do something about this, as there has been a large intelligent predator that has moved into an area and has started to make demands of people. There has been some violence, but not enough that would, like trigger a big response from like local governments to do something about it. Right now it's sitting in that like random adventurer hero kind of like territory of responsibility. But the other thing that makes this more than just simply a thingy over here that's threatening people, to better wet the whistle, such as it were, the area that this thing seems to be based out of is a old mine, and that mine used to be a gold mine.
Oh hell yeah! I'm saying yes. I don't even care what we're fighting anymore.
But
Gold mine. Callie eyes the mint in the back corner.
You see the dollar signs roll in her eyes.
But yeah, he says that there's a old gold mine. As far as his information is concerned, he does not know if the mine was abandoned because like it went dry or because this thing moved in. He does not know that particular detail.
Well, I hope it's the second one, not the first one.
But they are about like 90% certain on where this thing is located at, and if the party, as a whole, decides that they want to do this, then he'll give them, the information on where this old gold mine is located at, the information that they have on the thingy that has moved into the area, and other stuff like that, about the locals that live around it, give you that information as well. But if you go and do this thing, he says that the only goal that the organization has is either getting the creature to leave and hopefully go to an unpopulated, or alternatively, getting rid of the creature. So since there's nothing else that's really like tied to that goal, should you find out that the gold mines didn't run dry, well, finders keepers. So
Dang right.
he worth he tells you like, hey, this is I know that you guys have just met me. You've probably had at least a little bit of with the Pathfinders, but if you need more information about us as a group, myself personally, or more information on quest, should you choose to take it, then I will be more than happy to provide. Otherwise, just so that we're all clear, and he specifically looks over at Callie, because he says, I was intending on sticking around in the area for at least another week or so to see how things developed out, whether you take the quest or not. I've been having a good time, honestly, just doing a little bit of work here and there, and chatting with the locals. I find that to be enjoyable, so I'll be sticking around for at least another week, whether you do or do not take the
Alrighty.
I'm down.
You already know my answer.
I am going with anyways.
Yeah.
June.
All right.
June pipes in and says, I did have some questions.
Certainly.
Does joining the Pathfinder Society officially come with any, I guess you could say,
Benefits.
well, obviously the benefits are pretty obvious, but any, shall we say, restrictions, like we can't make a mess, or if we find out that someone bad is, or someone I got kind of tripped up, my bad. June's just basically asking, like, like if they have to sign, like get like the stamp and badge and all that stuff, that they can't just go around and just like avoid killing, and if someone has like diplomatic immunity, they can't go after them, yada yada. That's more or less what she was gonna ask.
Well, Miss June, the Pathfinder Society, our official, is that we believe in justice, and I'm sure that especially given your age and background and everything, you are aware that legality and justice do not always coincide with each other.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of the reasons why we fact about legal counsel and financial assistance. The Pathfinders do not harbor murderers. Let me be clear about that. But we do harbor king killers and merchant slayers and things like that when justice has demanded that those things happen. Now, sometimes, obviously, justice can be done non-violently, and we do prefer a non-violent solution if it can be found. But we don't want to, say, shy away from violence if best means by which to ensure the embetterment, everyone else, the common folk. We are frequently commissioned or hired by governmental entities, nobles, wealthy merchants, things like that. And sometimes the things that they want us to participate in are, well, justice is at the bottom of the totem pole when those sort of things come up. And the way that we handle it as an organization is that the individual agents who are on the field and are dealing with this particular thing, if it is your choice to visit violence on the otherwise, protected individuals, we support your choice in doing it. Again, I want to be clear. We don't harbor vigilantes. We don't harbor murderers. If you break a law, and I mean like a big one, you kill somebody, in cold blood, like if you get drunk at a bar and you have a bar fight and you kill somebody in that bar fight, and that somebody themselves was not a vile criminal of some other color, well, I'm afraid that at that point the society will offer you legal counsel, but that's about it. So we don't. Sometimes adventuring folk are labeled somewhat insulting misnomer of murder hobos, and we don't take kindly to actual murder. We do give you the benefit of the doubt to explain yourself and to explain the situation. There has been more than a few times that we have had to help them all get out of a situation where they were either pressed to do death thing or frame. So that's not something that has not happened to us, but we are aware that that is a thing that can happen given the sort of, lifestyle of most of our members. Generally speaking, if you believe in such things, you could say that the Pathfinder Society is a lawful kind of organization. Admittedly, we might be a little flexible here or there when it comes to good and evil, but we definitely do tend towards the good side of things rather than the dark. If it can be avoided, we prefer to avoid it in that situation.
June nods and is listening, she's not dismissing what he's saying, and just says back, I understand. I am not looking for an excuse for bloodshed. I'm not a bloodthirsty killer. But I have done some, how we say, work off the books for society here and there before. And I just wanted to be assured that if it came to that the society wouldn't just throw us under the wagon, so to speak, and had that flexibility that should a mess ever happen, they wouldn't use us as a scapegoat. And that was all I was trying to assure.
And those are valid concerns. We've had situations, honestly, that have tested us. And I would like to tell you that personally, in the 20 years that I have been a member of the organization, I've never come across a instance of us throwing anyone under the wagon. Now, have I heard rumors? Certainly. Are these rumors substantiated? No. But that doesn't mean that there's nothing there. I cannot assure you, Miss June, that every single member of the Pathfinder Society is a good, law-abiding citizen. Again, we try to promote that, and this vetting process is part of what we do, since most of the people that we are inviting membership are skilled, dangerous in one way or another. And because of that, some people see us as a mercenaries guild, which, if you squint, sometimes we kind of look on, but we are not. we are not a private army, nor are we a, as I said before, we are not a peacekeeping band of roving police. If you do things under the table, off the books, well, you wouldn't be the first by any stretch whatsoever. We would, again, request that you don't drag the Pathfinder Society's name through the muck if, things are turning out in that direction. But we're also not going to.
Forgive me if it seems like I was insinuating that. I
No.
understand
It's
that.
fine.
Let's just say that I have ran into a fair. Is somebody listening to music or something? Oh,
That
For that.
what was that?
Mm.
You guys okay?
I think my mic's going on the fritz.
Oh, yeah, it definitely sounds like it. Maybe try disconnecting and reconnecting? Oof.
Okay.
Mic check, mic 1 2.
Sounds
Yeah.
sounds like better.
Yeah, that's
All
better.
right, sweet.
Back to what I was. June was just saying, I've just ran into my fair share of people that trample upon others and use them to skirt any. The microphone definitely seems like it's picking up. Can you guys hear that echo or no?
Yeah, there's a little bit of an echo.
I wonder what happened to their mic.
Okay, well, now it's kind of stopped.
Yeah, it. Weird. Okay, I lost my train of thought. June was just gonna say that she wasn't insinuating that. That's what she was saying. That she's not looking for an excuse to be a murder hobo. Just that. If they do join the Pathfinder Society, that they would be treated fairly, and barring any explicitly what's the word, violent and just crass, just going out looking excuse to just like crack some heads just for the sake of it, and like
Worf taps like his Pathfinder button, and he says, "Trust me, ma'am. There have been times in my own life where I have wished that this little button was a LSL key, but it is not. The Pathfinder Society tries, being a key term, tries to uphold the general peace of the communities of which we are part and which we provide service to. And we also try to, not bring in people who would either abuse that system or who would use that system to abuse others. Again, as I've said before, it's not like those things have not come up, but we have generally dealt with them. It is a choice, and obviously it can be a difficult choice if you choose to join the Pathfinder Society or not. But if you do decide to take this quest and finish that up, then obviously, of course, depending on how things sort of play out, I have been instructed by the upper members of the society to offer you that membership. It is not going to be foisted on you either, simply because you did a job with us. It is entirely optional. It is entirely your choice.
June like just seems to like really oh gosh darn it, I'm getting a text message. June like just like nods and seems to like respect and appreciate that line and says very well. I will stew it over and let you know what my decision is, and I guess what everyone else's decision will be too. Like,
Certainly.
yeah, sorry about the 1 second. I'll be right back and let you guys. Yeah.
So, other than June's questions on that, anyone else, as far as Pathfinder Society or
Not really. I think you
Or
answered all
non-
my. I think you answered all my questions last session. So.
Same here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I-
Are you otherwise ready for
information?
Information.
And this one.
Can I check Lucy first to see how he's doing?
Certainly you can.
Is he doing well?
You go, check Mr. Servos where he's like, parked over in like the little like corner that is specifically.
It's got a little outlet and everything for him.
Yeah, he's just sitting over there like percolating.
And
And
just as an aside, oh sorry.
mhm.
Just as an aside, Tim's gonna follow Callie.
Okay.
Oh, that's weird. Okay. Just looming over her.
Just coming in behind Callie, looking at.
Hey, did you call me stupid that one time?
What'd you say?
What'd you say?
What'd you say to me?
Okay, so you guys go over to Mr. Servos and check out how Rusi is doing. Mr. Servos can communicate to Callie that, insofar as like Mr. Servos is aware and can monitor the situation, Rusi and asleep. Is that Rusi has woken up a couple of times, and has, as like Callie would have made him aware of, has like opened up the shutters inside and see what's going on around the robot. He's done that a couple of times in like the past like 30 minutes or so, but he still is just kind of resting. His gill respiration is otherwise acting as normal. Like all of the lights are green on the quality of the.
Alrighty then.
So yeah, he seems to be doing okay. He's just waking up every now and again, but keeping himself moist and just like sleeping through most of this.
Alright, well then I'll go walks all the way back to the group.
All right. So, do you guys want information on Lequestos?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, give me a second here. The map on my side, so I can get like
La mapa.
better detail than what we have here. 20.
Mm.
Let me see here. Open up the big old map.
And just sorry if
Okay.
like I rambled
So,
on for a bit. Like I was
and
just
let me turn on markers. Okay. So, let's make it a bit better here. Okay. So, anyways, this particular quest is there is a big town to the northeast, which is called Lariol. Not to be confused with Laria, the party, but there's Lariol, the town. Lariol is a it's actually about half the size of Harham, which makes it a whole shitload bigger than Whitford.
Damn.
And
Damn,
they're
bigger than
and
Whitford.
they're Yeah, it's bigger than Whitford by a lot. Um, but their main like claim to fame over there, they do they grow like just a shitload of grapes, and they make a shitload of wine.
Damn, sounds
Hell
like my
yes.
kind of place.
We're getting
Yeah,
turned.
so they make some booze. Let me tell you.
They make raisins as well.
They make everything that you can make out of grapes. They make. They also do a lot of apples and make a lot of cider and everything that you make out of apples.
Sweet. I
Um,
like this place.
so they also like keep bees and all that sort of jazz. This place just produces a lot of goods like that. And recently, there has been a slight dip in the amount that they are producing and exporting. And part of that is because one of the satellite smaller communities that's like just outside of Lariel is because they have been having some problems with a beastie that has been popping out of an old mine that is nearby town. This beastie, according to descriptions, is big. Like Wolford looks at the looks around the inside of this like fucking barn-sized building that y'all are in. And he's like, it would smash everything if it was like trying to be like in here, kind of big. He doesn't know if it's actually that big, but that's the descriptions that they've been given. This thing is the size of a building, kind of like. He says that, again, according to descriptions from the locals, it is long and serpentine in like body shape. It can talk, and it also has.
It's a.
What color is it?
It's like a.
Why'd you ask what color it is?
It's like a mottled black gray sort of color.
My brain went umber.
I have a question. Why does it for Tim? Why does it matter what color the guy we're fighting is?
He said serpentine body, so my brain went umber for a minute.
Oh, yeah.
But
Maybe we're
yeah,
with this guy as well. Who knows?
But he says that this thing can't talk. It speaks common at the very least.
It can converse.
And it has demanded that the locals there, near the mine, that little satellite town, that that if they do not comply to its demands, it will ruin all the crops and start killing off the livestock. And if that doesn't get them to obey, it'll just start killing off them.
What's its demands?
Well, its demands are for tribute. And like Warford's like,
Oh, so it wants to be a deity. I see how it is.
It wants it wants like a share of the like profits of the like the town, and then also to like have people in the town sacrificed to it.
You had me until the fucking human sacrifice. I see why they don't like him now.
Yeah, the whole human sacrifice. But yeah, to let you know, this thing is very big. They have spotted it climbing on like the cliffs and whatnot near the mine. So like it can definitely scuttle up and down a large stone wall.
I have a question. Can he be reasoned with, or is he unreasonable?
Well, it can talk, so theoretically, yes, it can be reasoned with. Although one of the things that it has said that it wants is like the
human sacrifice.
Is the semi-worship of like these people cut of their profits, and also like for them to pick somebody to die every so often for its enjoyment.
Yeah, not good.
Yeah, not really great, bro.
Yeah,
I mean,
not really
like, why kill your own people, bro, when you can have them work for you? Like, what the hell is that about?
He says that, like, given the description and everything like that, it kind of points that this thing might be a dragon. Maybe
dragon. Oh, fuck!
It might be a dragon, but if it is a dragon,
It's dragon adjacent.
Yeah, it's dragon adjacent. Like, it doesn't really match the description of, like, either dragon or drakes. It's close, but it's not exactly the same. Indeed. But this mining town specifically would be,
if we do this for them, will they will they ship gold to us? Could we set up relations with this town that sends gold to our country?
Or wine, because wine could raise
wine.
morale.
You know what? Yeah, wine raising morale. Yeah, it's pretty fun.
I mean, technically, they could. That would have to be something that you would have to dish out with the locals. But, like,
all right, guys, I know what we're
probably.
I know what we're doing today.
What we're doing today.
Okay, so Lariel itself, if you guys were to just, like, go, try to make like a straight run of it, it's like 55 miles from you.
Jesus.
If you want to do a straight run, you could also take the roads. You could go down, to the main road that heads to Whitford, and then go north from Whitford to Lariel. You can ride the established roads, but that will make the distance more like 60-ish miles.
Oh my god.
So you can technically cut down on the total.
That's a lot of miles with a car, bro. I can't imagine doing that with horseback. What the fuck?
Yeah, if you overland it,
oh shit.
Then it's shorter, but it'll be slightly harder to get there. It's really your choice on whether or not you.
Oh man. I mean, we probably want the shorter distance, right?
Yeah.
Wait, did you say the shorter distance takes take a while? Takes longer or shorter?
I'm looking that up right now. Let's see here. Travel speed.
Also, I'm gonna be honest. If I say something stupid, I'm sorry. I'm like really drunk right now. I can't fucking think properly. I had like a little too much rum, and I'm dehydrated, which is making me like more drunk, and that's not good.
The rum is the problem.
I'm slowly losing my mind at the moment, so it's all good.
Okay.
In fact, I just went to sleep and woke up.
Oh my god, dude! You fell asleep.
He's back.
I fell asleep sitting here.
Bro had a mini nap in mid-session.
Well, sometimes you need one. Okay, so to answer your question about like time, if you take the established roads, it would take the party at their best travel rate just over 2 days to get there.
Holy shit!
That's not too bad.
That's not too bad.
If you decide to just go
you said if I start my crafting thing, my employees could start on the crafting while I'm away, right?
Yes, that is correct.
Then it might be good to start that and then leave, and then we go do the thing. And then come back, probably.
If you decide to do the just overland it, the straight shot kind of like movement, that will save you a grand total of 7 hours. It's still slightly more than 2 days.
Damn it. Well, what do you guys think? I mean, 7 hours isn't that much in the grand scheme of things when you think of like 2 hours, but you said which way is faster? You said it's the
if you overland it, it cuts
Overland
down
it,
it. If you overland it, then that cuts down the distance pretty significant because the roads are windy.
Mm.
But it
What
slows
do
you
we,
down. Even though it slows you down, you would still technically save time if you just went overland.
Which route is safer? I have to ask. Like overland or the other route?
The roads are default safer, are the default safer ones.
And that's the slower one.
I will
Yes,
be right back.
that
I
would be
use
the
the
slower
restroom.
one.
Okay. Well, I mean, do you guys want to? I mean, maybe going the safer route would be a good idea. You know, like 7 hours isn't worth if it's more dangerous.
Being in danger, I think
Yeah,
going the
we've,
safer
we've
route would
been
be
in
a
a
better
lot of
idea.
danger, so.
Yeah.
Mm.
And we did keep the horses, right?
You mean we stole the horses?
I
No,
was
They
you
told you.
we
could you not
returned
Oh,
have,
it.
that's
like-
right. We had to travel over the ocean. Darn.
yeah,
Couldn't have had the horses on the boat.
you had to travel over the ocean.
Damn, we're horse thieves now? Well, I mean, technically, I'm not a horse thief. I wasn't the one who bought him in my name, so technically, by technicality, I am not a horse thief.
I don't know
By
where we
technicality.
probably left them back there. Anyway, so
Honestly,
by technicality.
technicality. Yeah, I think we should go the safer route. You know, what's 7 hours worth if it's gonna be more dangerous?
Hmm.
Maybe it's more fun. Maybe we run into like
Yeah.
a guy and his name is Dave and he's got like magic runes for us and he sells them.
I mean,
I
that's
thought you were
entirely
gonna
possible.
say he's just some guy.
He's just some guy. He's got like five eyes and they're like asymmetrical for some
What's up? My name
reason.
is Dave. I'm here
What's
to
up? My
give
name
you
is
a
Dave,
papaya.
and what's up? My name is Dave, and welcome to Jackass.
Bro really is drunk. I can't believe it.
Damn. I mean, I do
yeah,
think it would
but-
be smart to stay at least one.
Hey,
I do
bro,
think
I
it-
might be drunk, but at
it's
least
one
I'm
day.
thinking properly, bro. I'm not that drunk yet. I'm
I
still-
also
We
vote
stay
the
one
safe
day, we
route.
get everything.
Bro, if
Yeah.
I was
I'm
like
with-
ultra hella drunk, I'd be like, nah, fuck those 7 hours. We're going the dangerous route. I don't care if we meet a man named
We going
Dave with
now.
5 eyes. we going now.
Mm.
And by now, I mean like after a couple days when I establish whatever it is I wanted to craft.
Yeah.
I think
um,
I do
like,
think starting on the striking
yeah,
moves would be
one day,
probably
maybe
a
go.
good idea, but I think that would should take like top priority.
Okay. So, the party has decided that they are going to take the quest. They are going to take the roads, which will take, about 2.5 days, to get to Lariel and then out to the actual little satellite town where this thing is located at. Okay, so then I guess the thing that we need to determine is we need to determine if Callie is going to like have anything set up that's like cooking, while you guys are gone, and what that is.
I think that'd be a good idea because then it would since I'm away, I won't need to be there for as many days, I guess.
Yep.
Is everyone like agreement that like striking runes would probably be the highest priority? Like everyone's okay with that being the first thing to show up, right? Like everyone's like generally in agreement with that.
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, yeah, that probably will take top priority then. I do have another question. Since I'm taking Mr. Servos, is also just Rusi just going to be there randomly, like in Mr. Servos as well?
What I would say is is if you want Rusi to obviously not be in combat, which he would be a liability. And if he's in Mr. Servos, then Callie can't take cover inside of Mr. Servos. That Callie would have to set up a hydration suit, like her own. She'd have to set one up for Rusi so that he could otherwise relax without having to be like dunked in the river once per day. Although technically speaking, you could just have Gloria, walk him over to the river, dunk him down for a few minutes, and pull him back out.
And then Gloria's like, instructions unclear. I drowned Callie's brother.
That would be a weird thing. Like, how did you drown the guy that can breathe underwater?
Instructions unclear. Killed brother in river.
But yeah, you could leave him behind with caretakers who understand that he has to be like hydrated. Or you could have Callie, and I'm not gonna say that it requires any additional gold or time for Callie to make a hydration suit for him.
Yeah, because I feel like she needs. I guess just.
Probably is a spare anyway.
I guess just like a. I'm trying to figure out what would be. I guess maybe a little bit of both would probably be a good idea. Maybe like have him in a hydration suit and then maybe tell some people that like, yeah, could you keep an eye on him just in case, like this shit doesn't work.
Make sure you don't.
That would be the best way to handle it. So you would probably want to leave instructions
on a written fucking parcel.
Yeah, write it down, but you would want to leave instructions.
I'll be right back.
Like Doc Button, so that she knows the basics. She has treated Azraketti before, so she's fully aware of the whole he's got to be kept moist.
Yeah,
and everything.
they probably a good person to leave that with.
Yeah, so you could just leave that with Doc Button. But this also brings up another question. At the moment, you guys have access to two NPCs who can come along with you for a ride. Torque is obviously 100% willing to come along, as she has with you guys in the past. She's had fun doing that, and she's frankly of the opinion that she doesn't want to let June out of her sight for long. But other than Torque, you do also have access to Gloria. So if you wanted Gloria to come along, you could ask Gloria to come along.
I mean, we're fighting a dragon, right?
Yes, you're fighting a very large dragon. If you're just asking which one of them would be
Always
more
have
likely
life come with
in a fight, Gloria would be the
Not to
more
say that
useful in the
Torque
fight.
can't take care of herself in a fight. I'm just saying, I think having the one that could literally throw giant boulders might be a bit more viable in a fight against a dragon person. I'm just saying.
Yeah, a bit. Yeah, a bit. So, do y'all want to, as far as active NPC, do y'all want to trade out Torque, Gloria?
Does anyone disagree with me?
No, I think you get your logic sound. But
Yeah,
I would also devil's advocate saying the benefits that Torque give could also be beneficial as well in combat. So
I mean,
Yeah,
saying I'm just
Torque
saying
with
both are,
spellcasting.
yeah, both are pretty
Her
good.
bard boost ability affects everyone. And if they're ghosts anywhere, she can detect them, and also her bardic knowledge thing works on any topic. So if she needs to recall knowledge about something, she can make a bard check.
Is
Tim
Citrus
is always
here?
going to say Gloria, but the player is.
No.
Actually, wait.
Yeah.
No, I think asking if
Yeah.
Citrus is here is probably a bad idea. 'Cause Citrus might be like, no, let's go with Gloria.
Well, I guess as a player, like
Citrus is still
I don't
going at the
really
moment.
I'm
the
just like, I mean, both are pretty good. Like, I'm not saying that like one is better or worse. I'm just.
June
I
would
mean,
June would
there's definitely ideas to think about.
Yeah.
June would
yeah.
more
Definitely ideas.
June would more
And you don't obviously have to make that hard decision right here, right now.
Yeah,
I have a question. Would it be difficult for Gloria to fit inside the mine shaft? Since it's
No, it
Okay.
would not be.
Okay.
I mean, she lives in a
That,
mine shaft.
Squeezing would not be an concern in this particular instance.
She literally lives in a mine shaft. But June.
Well,
June
I mean, I'm
would-
good with either or. Either or is good. Is a sound idea.
June would be more concerned about if Gloria wants to come.
Because like either or have their own benefits. So.
yeah. Let's mull it over and back.
I heard like every other word because you went robot voice.
Shoot, hold on 1 second. I think.
Uh-oh.
Map change.
Did the map change?
Yes, I was just simply updating to a near the camp so that you guys can see. You know, like you guys are here at the camp. You'd like swing down to Whitford, travel up this road to Lariel.
All right. Yeah, this should make a lot of noise.
Okay, am I back?
Welcome back.
Yes.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Okay. My bad. I would say we could probably end up waiting a day, do a little work on some of the crafting stuff, and then mull it over with the rest of the group. See, because I do
Yeah.
agree that both have benefits.
Yeah. Like I said, either or is fine. I definitely agree about the mulling over, like having a couple of days to craft and do the quest would be a good idea. Like at least get the crafting started so that when we get back.
Yeah, as far as the other information that Worf has to give you guys, the creature that is making demands obviously didn't like try to stop anybody from leaving to like, you know, let other people know about this. So while they're treating it as serious, they are also like, it has to be pointed out that this thing apparently isn't like moving fast. So
Yeah, it's not murdering people at every second. It's just kind of a nuisance.
It's just kind of like take up home in a different place and like demanding shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just being kind of a butthole, like a violent butthole, but you know, a violent butthole.
A butthole.
Okay.
Like a butthole
So-
after Taco Bell kind of thing.
I mean, pretty much. All right, so these details thrown out. Obviously, of course, we can discuss probably in grander detail on Discord in between sessions, which NPCs specifically to take. Although, since I have access to their character sheets right here, right now, let me go ahead between them.
Pop them out.
Just as like a numbers game. So Gloria, she is super fucking strong. And she is very good to like cover herself in any sort of, you know, natural setting. Gloria's main drawback is that Gloria wouldn't accompany, quite frankly, into town. So if anything happens in town, Gloria's not there. She is a out of town, you know, creature. Or if you bring her into town, she is going to be stoned out of her gourd, so that she is, you know, not freaking out on people. So that is a sort of a drawback there. Gloria does have the fast healing feature, which means she basically just regens all the time. She's got over 70 hit points. Her AC is higher than 20. And when she hits, she's doing either 2d8 or 2d10 base damage.
Jesus Christ.
Oh.
dude.
That's my wife, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, so like when Gloria hits something with a fucking log,
Log?
she's like, log, okay, critical
Damn.
damage with a red, still 32.
Damn.
Yeah, so she hits like an absolute truck. The drawback is that, again, if you're in any sort of
I guess it's
urban
like
setting or you're dealing with anybody in a social situation,
I guess it's like the difference between are we going in diplomatic or are we going in to destroy?
I mean, if the idea is you want to go in and slaughter this creature, whatever, Gloria is your best like option on that. Torque brings a lot of like good things to the table, but she's much better in a social situation, quite frankly.
Well then maybe Orc would be a good idea.
Now, Torque, comparatively, again looking at numbers game, so she doesn't have any of the drawbacks. She also has gear that, other than Gloria's, like pick up a big ass rock and beat shit with it. Gloria, for all of her wonderfulness, she doesn't have a gun that also shoots magic bullets. Any sort of.
I was in the Gloria Park, but now I'm in the Torque Park. What's everyone thinking?
Yeah, Torque.
I'd say Torque.
Keep with Torque.
Keep the Torque.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess we're going with Torque.
Okay.
That sounds so vicious. I guess we're going with Torque.
That was from
Yeah,
Tim,
that's
not
right.
from.
Yeah, I know. I was like, Em is like, okay, I guess we're going with
That's
Torque.
died.
He says very
Oh
disappointed.
my word.
I'm like, yeah, disappointed. He's like, guess I'm not gonna get no pork court.
No wife, no wife. Yeah.
Like back over at the camp, like Torque's probably just like sitting there chatting with Gloria and Sirhan, and then she just stops and like slow turn, looks over her shoulder in Tim's direction. I'm like, I feel something.
Bombastic side eye.
Bombastic.
So she gives side eye, and Tim can fields away because he's like, ugh.
Well, she's
Good
almost
dude.
kind of sort of psychic, so
Almost psychic.
Yeah.
Damn.
Sending
almost psychic.
send those vibes.
Yeah, she's definitely got vibes.
She's feeling the vibes out of the area.
The funny thing is that while her AC is actually not all that, her damage is remarkably less. She's more versatile, but her damage is way less, and she's got like half the hit points.
Wow.
But she does have a gun, and she can shoot stuff with it.
Well, I mean, we might need her.
She's like
for
really good
convincing-
support.
Well,
Yes.
I mean, we might need her for convincing the citizens it's a really good idea to start importing their gold to our country.
There is that too.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll make a final decision as we come up to the actual adventure bit.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a little bit before 9:30. We normally run to 10 or so, but we've had some interruptions. You're a little sloshed right now.
Yeah. No kidding.
And we've gone over the what Callie is going to be making it on the at the workhouse. We've gone over like here's the quest for the next like thing. So since we have covered all of these bases, unless you guys want to do something else, this would actually be a pretty good like stopping point, frankly.
Yeah.
Yeah, So I think that's a good stopping point.
Okay.
We've been
You
going for
guys
about
can deal with Tim's-
3 hours instead of 4 hours. Still like a good little
Next-
bite-sized session.
Yeah, deal with Tim being all mopey.
Whatever.
We could have had wife come.
We could have, yeah, we could have had a wife.
Don't worry, Tim. Like Gloria will like pet you until you dent until she cares.
Hear like tin can crushing sound,
more
just like
wholesome than I was going to say.
Also, just as an interesting little side, where you guys are at the camp, your height above sea level is a little less than 900 where you guys are at.
900 feet above sea level. That's good.
Yeah, you're a little less than 900 feet. Lariel, the town that you are traveling to, it is about 3,000 feet above sea level.
Oh.
Oh. Okay.
So it is not quite a mountain town, but it is in the foothills.
Well,
The actual little
how's
town that
the
you're going
atmosphere
to.
up there?
Much closer to the. What sort of atmosphere?
Probably, this is like 3,000 feet. I'd imagine it's a different atmosphere at that point, honestly.
Well, at this time of year, they would start seeing snow.
Damn.
So wouldn't be like a lot of snow, but they would start seeing snow.
The fucking water inside Callie's like rebreather starts fucking freezing up and it's just ice cubes now.
Callie's just breathing iced tea.
Yeah, I
Probably
mean,
warmer or something.
like,
Callie's
are we
gonna have
are we
to
gonna
stop
be dragging Callie's brother along to this mission, or are we leaving them?
Let me get a new clip of the updated map with the indication of where the critter is. Okay, so let me do a quick screen cap. Okay, and then we'll give me just a second so I can post this to the. I'll put it up on Roll20 later on.
No problem.
But over here in Discord maps, this also has like updated roads and everything for the area that you guys are in. But yeah, if you look at that map there, you'll see where the camp is the little like bow and arrow icon. Whereas the monster icon over there near Lariel is where you're headed to.
That's
I don't see a
great.
monster icon near Lariel.
You don't?
You don't see the dragon icon?
Yeah, it's in the Discord.
The image is in 20.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't uploaded the updated one to Roll20.
Yeah, it's
But yeah. So the critter is up there in the foothills, and Lariel, the town that makes a shitload of booze, has asked for assistance from the Pathfinders.
we have to save the booze.
It seems.
So, with all of that said and done, since we know where we're going and what session around, I'm gonna plan for the travel and what Lariel and everything is like once you actually get there, and then we'll be going and fighting at the wagon.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
Hell
sounds
yeah.
good. I'm looking forward to.
Alrighty.
Looking
So,
forward
thank you as you for showing up and just hanging out and doing shit.
I'm sorry if
As
I
always,
rambled a bit
thank
with
you
the.
for all of that, and I will talk to you guys a little bit later. I'm actually feeling kind of hungry. I think I'm gonna go fix my
Yeah.
late snack.
Go get yourself a snack.
Cheeseburger.
And I
Please,
just
man.
I just
Here's a
wanted to
cheese
apologize about going off on that
Cheeseburger.
tangent with the whole like.
But yes. Also, there are.
Oh my
other
god! I
benefits
realize I've been muted this
to the
whole
group.
fucking time.
Oh my god!
Yeah. Oh damn.
That's why
I
no one.
remember you said you'll be right back.
Damn.
Yeah, I thought you were still gone.
Yeah.
Oh my!
Yeah, I thought you were still gone.
Oh my
too,
god!
yeah.
That's no wonder why no one was like. It'll be funny on the VOD, but I was just gonna say I'm
For the
sorry
past
about
30 minutes, everybody ignores June.
I was just gonna say I was sorry about the whole like rant I had with what do you the whole like oh the like are the like the Pathfinder Society on the up and up, like it's just because I was trying to be like in character, June, like she's very wary about that. I'm sorry if it like took like a lot of time and like I kept getting distracted and like losing my train of thought, but
No,
yeah.
that's fine. Yeah, you were good. This was a little bit of a chaotic session.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I can't
But
believe I was
the-
muted for like a good quarter of it. Oh my god.
Damn.
I'll admit that is kind of funny. But the thing though that I was going to say was that other than benefits that like in character in game that Worf told you about, the other benefits of being a member of the Pathfinders is it gives you access to feats and equipment and other stuff that you don't normally get access to.
Wait, really? Like mechanic wise, we get like bonuses for being in the.
Well, it you meet the prerequisite in order to, by being a member of society, you meet the requisite in order to purchase that item or pick that spell or pick that.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
you
I didn't
still-
know that was actually a thing.
Oh
Yeah.
damn.
You still pick those. You still pick those up. Like you normally do. Like when you level up and you
Mm-hmm.
Well then,
take that feat, but it gives it to you because you can take it because you are a member of.
That's
So
interesting.
there is a mechanical benefit to being a member of the faction.
Interesting. All right. Yeah, that was again. Sorry for being muted, and I was just gonna say had a great time, and I hope I'm looking forward to next session. I hope it's.
Yeah.
I hope everybody can make it.
Yeah, I do hope everyone.
Now,
I will
Speaking-
try.
speaking of, just as a quick thing, next Saturday is the 1st, and that is my sister's birthday.
Okay.
She is coming into town on Monday, and she is staying through to her birthday. But we're going to be celebrating, but we should be done, before game time.
Mhm.
So that
Hopefully.
should not be hopefully that should not be a issue for myself. And as far as work is concerned, I was given a very weird maybe on Monday and Wednesday, and depending on how that weird maybe works out, that I might have more time coming in. Apparently, they were not at liberty to discuss in details, but they might need me to cover Monday and Wednesday. One of the so we'll see how that happens. Even if I don't end up actually having to, Wednesday is the only other day currently scheduled to do any sort of work. So yeah, we'll see how things roll out. Insofar as I know, at this very moment, next Saturday and Saturday the 8th, the Saturday after that, both of those days, I should be free, and
All right.
things should happen. Now, what I am going to be trying to get done here next week, and again, if work does come in the way that it does, this might trip me up a little bit, but there's a couple of maps I want to take care of. And other than that, though, I've already got critters picked out. I've already got all bits and pieces for this little quest thing. So that is already all done. I just need to put together like some maps. I'm basically ready to rock.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of ahead of the game. So I'm looking well on those areas, and hopefully when we do get together next Saturday, everything will be all good together. We'll have gotten past the everybody who is still recovering from like sickness and all that cleared up. So otherwise, everybody have a wonderful evening, and I hope that you guys have a great night.
Yeah.
Have a good one,
Y'all
guys.
Have a great night,
Have a
guys.
good one. Have a good
Bye.
night.
Bye.
Alright, well, I am very embarrassed that I was muted on Discord for about like a good quarter, maybe a third of the session. That's why I was like, I kept wondering why everyone was talking over me. It turns out it was just because they couldn't hear me. It's all good. But let's go ahead and see who is online for us to raid. And I swear one of these days I am going to put an ending in BRB screen on this. But yeah, let's see. We have Bongo V1, Crispy, Les Scarecrow, Menagerie, Sapphire Gleam, Dice Bard, Ultra R2, Spark Ryuchi, Demon King Sinju, Natsuki-chan, Dr. Crafty, Lori, Taigatan, Goblin Fia, Neru, Deadly Desire, or Desiree. Oh, it's that one. Gosh, my throat still is all scratchy. Deadly Desire, Desiree, whatever. Saria, Good Jared, Party Menace, Miss Jackie, Porcelain Maid, Henya, and Iron Mouse. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So let's go ahead and roll a d20 and see who we raid. 7, okay. That is gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, Ultra R2. Nice. I've been wanting to raid them more. Let's see, they're doing Deep Rock Galactic. And they're still streaming. Awesome. So let's go ahead and raid. Raid Ultra _ R2. There we go. And here's the raid message, guys. If you aren't subbed, you can go ahead and use this one. Use your own emotes, just the words, whatever you guys want. Thank you everybody for being here. I'm sorry that it was kind of scuffed today, but I'm just glad to be, mostly back to health. I'd say mostly because like I'm still kind of coughing and have a scratchy throat and just have a especially today I've just been coughing pretty bad, especially this morning. I had like a really ugly cough. But this was a great session. It was really interesting. Again, props to our game master and props to our other players. I love them all and just glad to be able to be here. I'm really glad I didn't miss another session. But we're gonna go ahead and raid Ultra R2. Just send him some love for me, and I will see you all later, okay? Have a good one. Bye. And again, don't have an ending screen, so I'm just gonna have to rate it.